In the heart of a dense forest, nestled between ancient mountains, lived a small bird named Nilo, a brown sparrow, often overlooked. But what set him apart wasn't how he looked, it was how he dreamed. He'd listen to tales from migratory birds, stories of golden deserts, silver seas, and endless skies. One day, he whispered to himself, "I'll see those places too." But the other birds laughed. "You? Cross the mountains?" croaked an old crow. "You barely fly above the trees," said a woodpecker. "Just be grateful for what you have," chirped a pigeon. "Dreams are dangerous." And for a while, Nilo believed them. One crisp morning, as golden light poured through the trees, an injured falcon crash-landed near Nilo's nest. His wings were scratched, his feathers scorched, like he'd flown through fire. Nilo hopped down, gathered leaves and herbs he'd seen squirrels use, and tended to the falcon with patience each day. Though the falcon was proud and silent at first, he eventually spoke. "Why would you help me?" "Because you needed help," Nilo replied simply. When the falcon could fly again, he turned to Nilo. "You're small, but your heart is mighty. You remind me of a story." He told Nilo about a sparrow, smaller than him, who crossed the desert alone, with no map, just belief. She had nothing but her will, and it carried her. Before he flew away, the falcon left a gift, a single feather from his wing, silver and tipped with red. "This is a feather of fire," he said. "Let it remind you, your size doesn't define your strength. The fire is already within you." That night, Nilo couldn't sleep. The story, the feather, and his own dreams stirred in his chest like a storm. By morning, he packed seeds and water in a leaf pouch, tied the feather to his leg, and looked up. The mountains loomed like ancient giants. The air would be thin, cold, and wild. But with a deep breath, he took off. At first, it was magical. The wind was gentle, trees waved like old friends, and Nilo felt like part of the sky. But as he neared the peaks, the winds grew fierce, the air colder, thinner. He pushed harder, flying higher, but the doubts grew louder. "You're too small. You'll never make it. Turn back." A violent gust struck him. He tumbled, his pouch tore open, seeds scattered. He crashed onto a rocky ledge, shaking. "Maybe they were right," he whispered. "Maybe dreams are dangerous." Then he felt the feather tied to his leg. The feather of fire, it shimmered even in the shadows. The fire is already within you. Nilo stood. "I may be small," he said, "but I'm not weak." And he leapt. The mountains tested him. Snow stung his eyes. The air clawed at his breath. But he flew on. He drank from frozen springs, hid in hollow rocks, and pressed forward. And one morning, he rose above the final ridge. The clouds broke. Sunlight flooded in, and Nilo saw it. Golden fields, sparkling rivers, forests painted in color. The sky stretched endlessly. It was more beautiful than he had ever imagined. He had crossed the mountains. Weeks passed as Nilo explored the new lands. He met flamingos, parrots, hummingbirds. None of them laughed at his size. They listened. They asked about the feather. They marveled at his courage. One day, while perched atop a tall tree, a young bird flew up beside him. "Is it true?" she asked. "You crossed the mountains?" Nilo nodded. "But how?" He smiled. "The power was never in my wings. It was always in me." Many seasons later, Nilo returned to his forest. The same crow perched on the crooked branch. The same woodpecker tapped away. But when Nilo landed, they barely recognized him. He carried himself differently. His eyes held wisdom. His heart radiated warmth. You came back?" the crow asked, surprised. Yes, Nilo smiled, and I have stories to share. Soon young birds gathered around him each evening. He spoke of golden lands and soaring dreams, of falcons and feathers, of storms and skies. But most of all, he spoke of belief. He never said it was easy, but he always said it was worth it. Nilo built his nest high in the tallest tree, where he could see both the mountains and the skies beyond. And beside it hung the feather of fire, reminding all who saw it of what was possible. And when a young bird doubted themselves, Nilo would smile and say, "You don't have to be the biggest or the strongest. You just have to believe. The world will try to tell you what you can't do, but only you can decide what you will do. Because the greatest power in the world is the power within." Vocabulary list. Overlooked meaning, not noticed or considered, ignored. Example, her talent was often overlooked in a room full of louder voices. Scorched. Meaning burned or singed with intense heat. Example, the summer sun scorched the grass, leaving it dry and brown. Shimmered. Meaning to shine with a soft, flickering or wavering light. Example, the lake shimmered under the moonlight like a sheet of glass. Perched. Meaning sitting or resting in a high or elevated position. Example, the cat perched on the windowsill, watching the world go by. Stirred. Meaning awakened or aroused, emotion, memory, etc. Example, the old song stirred emotions she hadn't felt in years. Tumbled. Meaning fell suddenly, clumsily, or headlong. Example, the books tumbled off the shelf during the minor earthquake. Clawed. Meaning scratched or tore at something using claws or fingers. Example, the prisoner clawed at the walls in desperation. Want more stories like this? Click the video on your screen for more inspiring stories. And in the comments, tell us what you like about these stories.